Okay, so we're going to use our foldable that we just filled out to help us. So this is exploration 1. So it says, write an inequality for each statement, then sketch a graph of the numbers that make the inequality true. So it tells us right here we're using T for our variable. So the temperature T in Sweden is at least negative 10 degrees Celsius. So we know our number is negative 10. So we put a circle above that. Now, at least means it can be negative 10 or it could be higher. So it can be, that means color it in, or it could be higher than negative 10 because at least means that amount or more. So it goes this way. So that means at least is the same as the greater than or equal to symbol. And so when you see at least, you do T is greater than or equal to negative 10. Okay, this is the elevation E of Alabama. So our variable is E, is at most 2,407 feet. So I'm going to put a circle where 2,407 is approximately. So about halfway is 2,500. So just below it. And I'm going to go ahead and label it since it's not exactly on the number line. Now, at most means it could be 2,407, but it could be less. So if it could be 2,407, we shade it in because it could be equal to. And then it could be less because at most means 2,407 or smaller. So less than or equal to is our symbol. Whoops, sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at kind of a more basic example. Same concept, just without the real world kind of story problem to it. So it says, write each sentence as an inequality. So W minus 3.5, W minus 3.5 is less than or equal to negative 2. So that said to write it as an inequality, we did it. That's done. Let's try another one. 3 is less than a number in plus 5. So that tells us our variable is in plus 5. Let me do one more with you, then I'll have you do one. 0 is greater than or equal to, now this is where it gets a little funky, twice a number x, that means 2x, plus 1. All right, I'm going to go ahead and have you try D. Okay, so B is fewer than means less than 30.4. All right, let's go ahead and have you try E. Go ahead and write that as an inequality. All right, so we had negative 7/10 is at least means that amount or bigger. So greater than or equal to. Twice a number, K, that's 2K, minus 4. Okay, let's look at example 2. Example 2 says, tell if negative 6 is a solution of each inequality. So what we do is we plug in the negative 6, wherever the variable is, and then we see if it's true. So on the left side of the variable over here, negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. And we still have negative 1 on the right side. So you ask yourself, is negative 2 less than negative 1? Yes, it is. I'm going to write it in words for you. Negative 2 is less than negative 1. So is it a solution? Yes. All right, let's go ahead and look at example 3. So when you have the less than or equal to or the greater than or equal to, that's a closed circle. When you have less than or greater than, that's an open circle. All right. So y is less than or equal to negative 3. So put your circle above negative 3. Less than or equal to, the equal to on the bottom tells me shade it in, meaning it can't be negative 3. Numbers that are less than negative 3 are towards the left. All right. Let's go ahead and look at B. Do you guys see how the variable, the x, is on the right-hand side? It's easier if the x is on the left. It's always easier if your variable comes first. So hopefully you notice on this symbol, it's opening towards the x. The open side is towards the x. So if I want to rearrange it, I reverse the entire thing, including the sign. So the open side over here is still towards the x. So I didn't change anything, just the order, but its meaning is still the same. So key is if the open side was towards the variable, keep the open side towards the variable, or vice versa. So I have 2. Now it is greater than, so it's an open circle, and x is greater than 2. Numbers that are larger than 2 are towards the right. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to example 4. So the graphs show the height restrictions h, so our variable's h, in inches for 2 rides at an amusement park. Write an inequality that represents the height restriction of each ride. So on ride A, the circle is at 48. Now I just need to figure out the symbol. It goes to the right, so that's getting bigger, so that's greater than. But since it's a closed circle at 48, it's greater than or equal to. Let's try this bottom one. It's h, and the circle is at 52. Now, it's an open circle, and it goes to the left, so it is a less than symbol. There's no equal to because the circle at 52 is not a closed circle. All right, I want you to try writing an inequality for this part A right here. All right, so if I use x, what it should be is x is greater than or equal to 1. All right, I'm going to go ahead and have you try C. All right, if I use x, and it's also at 1, it's a closed circle, and it's going to the left. It's getting smaller. The numbers are getting smaller, so it's less than or equal to. So x is less than or equal to 1. All right, and that's our notes for today.